Welcome back. It's 6:24, and with school starting up, students aren't the only ones changing their schedules. Your pets are too, and they definitely notice the shift in seasons. So joining this morning is Dr. Jen Klabundy from Northwood Animal Hospital, who's going to give us some tips on how to help your pets readjust, just as students need to as well.
Right.
So some ideas that you might have include things like getting back into a daily routine.
Right, because if you think about your routine all summer, the kids were out with the dog or playing with the cat all day long. You know, you may not have even seen them all day, and then they come back in at dinner time. Well, now all of a sudden, the kids are packing up in the morning, putting on their backpack, heading off to school without their pet, and this can leave their pet extremely confused and wondering what's going on. This hasn't been this way.
Wrong even.
Exactly. I mean, especially dogs, they depend on us for comfort. They depend on us for routine. These things can be very stressful and confusing. And so sticking to a routine right now is incredibly important in providing that stability for your dog. So give them a routine that they can do with the kids, and this can be before school and after school. Maybe your children get up early and feed them, have a little playtime before breakfast. Give them a nice treat before they go off to school, something very special, and then again, bring that treat back in as soon as they get off the bus after school.
Right, that was another big tip, making a noticeable change in the toys that are available when you're home from school, or something like a special toy when the kids get home from school.
Right. Every pet, dog or cat, has a very special toy that they just love. Let's go ahead and keep that toy, kind of hoard it a little bit. Let the children give that to them right before they go off to school, and keep it in a special hidden spot where they can reintroduce it when the kids get back from school. This will increase the bonding between your pet and their child.
And it'll give them something to look forward to.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Another tip is hiding some pet treats around the house.
Right, and this is for boredom, because you know, your dog or cat, like I said, all summer long had people in the house. Now suddenly everybody's back to school, everybody's back to work, and they're all alone all day. And if you keep some special treats, then they make these for dogs and cats. Hollow toys where you can put little peanut butter balls or cream cheese balls. Scatter them throughout the house so that your pet has a little scavenger hunt all day. Another tip for this, Holly, is to freeze them. And that way they stay fresh all day. It's just something else that you can do to keep your pet entertained while everyone's gone and waiting for you to return.
A mini scavenger hunt. I love it.
It works.
That sounds like something that people would be interested in as well, to find treats around the house. All right, thanks for the tip. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll have more tips from Dr. Jen Klabundy on how to help your pets readjust back to the school year and the new schedule. In this week's edition of Pet Talk with Dr. Jen Klabundy from Northwood Animal Hospital, we're talking about getting your pets back into the swing of things, much like students have to do. So we've already had a lot of tips, and some other things that will help the transition process are having some playtime before school, before the kids even leave.
Right, because like we talked about last segment, Holly, this is a very confusing time for dogs and cats. I mean, they've had all summer with your children, with you, and now all of a sudden they head out the door in the morning and don't come back until 3 or 4 at night. So very confusing time. So the more routine we can give them, the more stability we can give them, the more reassurance that, hey, everything's going to be okay and we'll be back, is a good thing. And one way to do that is to have designated playtimes both before and right after school. So before the kids start homework for the night or go off to do different activities, maybe play a little game of fetch or laser light with a kitty.
That would be perfect. And speaking of laser light and getting some activity, what about the amount of physical activity that you can play with your pets before and after school?
This is great, and it's not only good for physical activity, which everybody needs, us included, your pets included, but also it does create bonding time. And you know, the more we could get out there and say, go for a hike with your dog. My cat goes for hikes with us. She'll follow us around our property and act like a little dog. So this is not just for dogs, this is for cats as well. Get out there and include them in activity. Maybe have a game of soccer and let the dog run around with you. It's good for everybody in emotional ways and in physical ways.
Absolutely. And then for people who perhaps are really worried about their pets, or if they really feel that it's just too long for them to go without anybody playing with them for a whole day, what about options for that?
Well, doggy daycare might be something to consider. And you know, a lot of people do this. We have a lot of clients who bring their dogs to doggy daycare every single day, or maybe even twice a week. But this is just something that it's a supplement. It's some kind of attachment, some kind of activity that they can go and get creative. They have lots of sometimes courses set up for them to play with, games that they can play, walks that they can take. This might be a good time to experiment with that.
That would be a great thing to do if your dog is feeling lonely that time of the year when everyone's going back. All right, thank you again to Dr. Jen Klabundy from Northwood Animal Hospital.